What's up, everyone? Showdown breakdown time. Monday Night Football. Bucks at the Chiefs. The turd bonanza is about to explode. I'm here to break it all down. We're waiting for Bobbywow. We're waiting for DFS up north. I'm not waiting anymore. They'll show up when they show up. I figure we got to get started. We got a game ahead of us. So I'm going to just get us going here. We're going to take a look at this game. And I mean, it is a turd fest out there tonight, guys. Who is the wide receiver for the fucking Bucks? I have some thoughts, but it is as sketchy as it gets. You guys are going to see this one's really, really weird. But we got to get into the matchup sheet. We'll cover it all and then go from there, guys. So we're waiting for WoW and DFS up north. They'll show up here. But I'm telling you, start to think about who the hell even are the wide receivers on this team. And you're going to realize it's a lot of names that you never heard of. And there's some Q tags going on. I don't even know if the two primary wide receivers who are still left for the Bucks are even going to be available tonight. So we're going to get in. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All the chalk hit yesterday, by the way. This is the reaction is really, really weird. I thought the chalk all hit, but we can get into that a whole other time. But I will say this about yesterday's slate. We saw some of the greatest receptions, not just of the week or the month of the season. I've saw some of the greatest receptions I've ever seen. The Garrett Wilson catches, the Devontae Smith catch at the end of the Eagles game. There was some amazing football played yesterday, guys. Really cool stuff. But the reverse hurdle with Barkley, we saw some amazing plays yesterday. Like some great, there he is, DFS up north, trying to get the old string connected to the cup.
We're good.
So the internet would start working again.
That's Bobby. I was just at my real job, so Bobby's the one who can't get his computer set up.
There's that. I mean, I talked up Tillman all week last week. I don't know if he was chalk, but he smashed as well.
He was a little chalky.
Yeah, I mean, there was. It's funny. I talked about Quentin Johnston on the Players Club, and we actually used him in some lineups as an alternative to Ladd McConkey chalk. That worked out really well yesterday. A-Chain. My cores were A-Chain and Brown. That crushed, but of course, there were some misses there too, Tyrone, Tracy. But whatever, let's get into this one. Yeah, let's get into this one. I'm
excited.
The hardest part, I mean, both teams have weird wide receiver groups, but like the especially weird one is on Tampa, where anybody can get in this game. Even freaking Ricky Miller is a real possibility here. Like everybody's
everybody's available and everybody's cheap, right? So you're just trying to guess on kind of who's the guy going to be.
Absolutely. So,
and we got injury, like Jalen McMillan is potentially hurt here.
That's what I'm saying. And Sterling Shepard, who's even playing.
I mean, he's going to go. I think he's got a toe thing, but
let's get into it. We'll start with the Chiefs side. So just pulling up the old matchup sheet. This is a really important part of every showdown. Understand the usage, the rushing percentage, the snap counts last week on the season to see what's going on. So let's take a look at KC here. Okay, you've got Kareem Hunt, the primary running back, 77% of the carries last week, all of them effectively, 100% of them, because the other ones were Mahomes. So Kareem Hunt is getting all of the work. Samaje Perine did get in the game for blocking purposes, as he does. Caught a target or two, but that's about it. So it's the Kareem Hunt backfield.
Yep.
For Kansas City.
Until like a couple weeks.
Yes. Now, one interesting phenomenon we've seen the last couple of weeks, and this did show up in the snap counts last week.
Yep.
Travis Kelce, Noah Gray's increasing snap count. The Chiefs are playing two tight ends on the field because they have no wide receivers.
Yep.
Their guys stink, so they've finally figured out we might as well just put all of our tight ends on the field. They're playing defense. They're running the football. Noah Gray is kind of like on the field a lot.
Yeah, he's playing a ton, and he's getting some targets too. I mean, originally when I saw that, I thought, well, he's just out there blocking, right? Which I think primarily he's doing a lot of, and they're splitting Kelce out to the slot, but he's running routes, man.
Yeah, he's out there the whole time. 8% target count last week. The salaries come up a little bit, but Kelce was the focal point of the passing offense finally in their last game, but he hasn't been that all season. He gets targets. I think it's noteworthy also that DeAndre Hopkins joined the team, really only played a small percentage of the snaps in week one, but that number should be increasing.
It's going to go up.
Let's see who else got snaps at wide receiver. I'm telling you, the wide receiver group here is almost as terrible as it is for
and then
Kansas.
you throw Juju's not playing, right? So he's out. So now somebody's got to play those snaps. Xavier Worthy played a ton. Justin Watson plays a ton, but he doesn't do anything with it.
Watson's out there all the time, just
Yep.
blocking. He doesn't do anything. 70. He has the highest snap count, 76%, does nothing.
Yep.
Last week, Hardman got a target. Even Montrell Washington, who I've never heard of before just this second, got in the game.
Yeah,
Never heard of that.
Hardman caught a touchdown pass 2 weeks ago, but he really, I mean, he's getting literally one target a game.
Yeah, Hardman stinks, guys. He stinks. So this guy is a known commodity, and he's a known
stinky turds catch touchdowns sometimes.
Yeah, could get a touchdown, but stinky turd all day. I think it's interesting that Xavier Worthy seems like the best of these guys. He got a bunch of targets last week.
Yep.
He's overpriced perennially.
For the production, yes.
Yeah. So really, yeah, overall an interesting situation with the wide receivers on Kansas City. Worthy, again, good target, good amount of snaps, an impressive number of targets last week. So it's on the upswing. We know that DeAndre Hopkins, his snap count and involvement will be going up week to week. We don't know how much 1 week will have an effect on things, but it should go up.
Yes.
And of course, I think we have to just pay attention to Noah Gray as a guy who's now not some turd tight end, but rather a tight end who's on the field.
Like a legitimate play.
Yeah, he's on a lot. So very playable. All right, let's shift over to Tampa because it gets really weird. And I have a theory here.
Okay.
Last week, one of the things they did was just throw it a ton to these running backs. Bucky and Rachaad White got a ton of targets.
Ton of work.
Yeah, and I think that's what the copium that they're doing in Tampa, not having any live wide receivers, is just throwing it to those running backs and to Cade Otton.
Cade Otton, man, he's like wide receiver 1 territory here.
Yeah, which is crazy because Cade Otton, not necessarily somebody who we all think about as some special player, but yet here we are.
Right.
So let's take a look at some of the numbers from last week. This is really important, really. So Rachaad White, 56% of the snaps. Bucky Irving, 42% of the snaps. With Sean Tucker, just a minimal mix in here and there. Rushing percentage actually went more towards Bucky Irving. And actually, I could show you in a second that the props are like a little higher for Irving than they're a little higher, right? Rachaad White.
He's been dealing with a little bit of an injury too that kept him out of practice Thursday and Friday, but it sounds kind of like that's just going to be the status for the year, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, he's going to go and he'll be fine.
Would you play White and Irving? Yes, White and Irving should not be treated as running backs that are competing with one another. To me, they're just wide receivers.
Yeah, especially on DraftKings.
Yeah, look at the numbers. The target percentage last week and they throw a ton of passes last week. Like he was out slinging it. And Irving and White got as many targets as Shepard and McMillan and all these other guys. Basically, they were treated as another wide receiver. Both guys got more than 5 receptions last week.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Like McMillan and Shepard are both going to be game time Brian Robinson Jr. type decisions. They want to see them out there. So, I mean, we could potentially see both of these running backs get a ton more work in the passing game.
This is a brutal slate, guys. I hate to say it.
Yeah, that part's like scary, right? Like you're looking at, I'm adding him to the sheet here shortly, is you're looking at a guy like Marquez Callaway being a viable wide receiver here.
Look at these names. Ryan Miller, who you've never heard of. No one's ever heard of him. 10% target count last week, 40% snap. Ryan Miller. So here's what's messing me up, DFS Up North.
Yep.
If McMillan or Sterling Shepard, if one of those guys don't play, that's going to lead to more of Raheem Jarrett or Ryan Miller.
Correct.
If both of them don't play, that's going to lead to a lot more of Raheem Jarrett.
And Trey Palmer, I mean, he's going to be your guy out there too, but yeah.
Yeah, and interestingly, Trey Palmer, who had quite a few snaps last week, was the least targeted guy of them all.
They threw him a couple of bombs, but other than that, Mayfield is literally just checking it down to the tight end and the running backs.
It might as well be
maybe the wide receiver doesn't even necessarily matter.
It does matter. This is how you're going to win the slate. I mean, you got to guess right. They're too cheap. They're getting enough targets.
They make so much work.
Yeah, you're going to need these guys. I actually think these turd wide receivers are probably better than the turd Kansas City wide receivers.
Yes, right?
Yeah. Like, I'd rather pay down with one of these turds than have to play Mecole Hardman or something like that. Like, that's terrible.
I think like the potential upside is probably better, right? Like with these turd wide receivers for the Bucs.
I mean, Radio Raheem could get it done. Who knows?
Did he play last year?
No, I've never heard of these guys. I've never seen these names. Raheem Jarrett and Ryan Miller. I've never seen the names before. I remember I saw Miller last week. I saw the jersey. I thought that was Scotty Miller.
Thought Scotty was still on there. No,
yeah, I was like, oh, Scotty Miller's still on the team. And then I was like, who the hell is this Miller guy? They're rookies. So like, yeah, this is sketchy. Jalen McMillan was the man though. He should have been.
He's good,
but he's got that big Q tag.
Yep, and they
don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, people are already giving up on Bobbywow. He's in there. He's got the generator out back. Last I heard, Bobbywow, he's.
You know what the issue is, right? It's because he's got all those freaking Christmas trees plugged in already, and this internet's not working because it's overloading the system.
Internet. What if the Christmas lights are connected to Bluetooth and the whole thing's messing up the Wi-Fi in the area?
It could be that
could happen.
That's not out of the possibilities here.
I have a neighbor up the street that goes all in for Halloween.
Oh, I love it.
I'm now thinking and wondering. It's like a local police officer too. You know, like he's out there working with his hands. You know, putting up. He had like 70 things going on for Halloween. Like, it was insane. I want to go check it and see how quickly the changeover to the Christmas
Did he get it down
spectacular happens. Yeah.
Does he go? He goes all in for Christmas too.
I have to imagine that. I have to think so.
That stuff's pricey.
Listen, if that's your passion,
you do it.
Yeah. Listen, for me, I'm busy.
Kevin would just rather degen enter like League of Legends slates than do that.
When you gamble all day, you don't have time to go outside and would take a freaking hammer and a ladder, start climbing things and plucking. Even worse than putting things on your house is taking it off. Like, what?
Oh, I just rip them off in the spring.
No, what are you, nuts? Back in my day, before your time, in my day, okay, you had that string of lights. If one light burnt out, the whole thing turned off, and then you'd have to figure out what the light was. Try troubleshooting that.
I remember my old man doing that in the basement, like looking at all the lights.
You got to take out every bulb. Don't know which one's the bad one. No, thank you. That seems like a lot of work. Awesome. All right, where were we? So let's get into some ownerships here.
All right, let's see.
We're talking KC. We're talking Tampa. We got some turdliness. Look at the spread, by the way. KC massive favored here.
I know. Right? Like, that's why I put the Chiefs as a potential defensive captain, just because of that big spread and the only 18 points for the Bucs.
I feel like on the Showdown breakdown on Thursday, I gave out 2 bets and they smashed so hard.
What were they?
I said the Jets have to win this game, and then it was the under on the opposing quarterback. I can't remember who it was, who they played at this point. Who did the Jets play on Thursday?
So bad. They lost. I mean, obviously.
No, the Jets won.
Did they?
Of course, yeah, they won.
Oh, they beat Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh. It was the unders. I was like, you got to take the unders.
Yeah. I said remember that was my notes said.
Stroud. That's what it was. Yeah, Stroud. The under on Stroud.
Stroud. That's what it was. Yeah.
I gave out the parlay, and then I was just looking at this one. Like, I try to find some. I actually jumped over to the Proptimizer. I was trying to see if anything popped up, like on the passing yards, especially.
Okay.
The passing yards for Mahomes is set at 250. I just feel like he hasn't been getting there. Yeah. 3 out of 5. All right. So the algo definitely minorly favors the under on it's not big enough for me to want to bet it, but minorly favors the under. I do think, though, if you find out McMillan will actually be out, then some overs on receiving yards for some of these turds can work.
What's the number on Mayfield right now? I didn't see.
Baker? Yeah, here it is. Passing yards. He set the over-under set at 240, And we like it a little bit to the under at 230. I don't know if this is even visible on screen.
He throws it 50 times a game.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to play that under. I think that's like a suck you in, you know, because he has no wide receivers number.
Right.
But
I get that.
Let's get into the Dom station. Let's take a look at captain ownerships, DFS up north. And I know you've got your sheet out and you've broken it all down for us, but we'll just look at this already. Like, this is why I want to play this slate. I mean, if this is right, we are showing Pat Mahomes as the most owned captain. Mahomes, who has not cleared 20 fantasy points.
Hasn't cleared 20 yet.
This season.
Nope.
He is the most, that is very fadeable. You know what? I faded, when you fade chalk, it hurts when you're wrong.
Yes.
And gonna mea culpa it. I faded Geno Smith this weekend.
Hey.
You know,
they don't get overtime.
The game went to OT, it went nuts. Jackson Smith and Jigba. If you didn't have Smith to Njigba, you didn't win any money. They got me. The chalk monster got me.
Gotcha.
All right. Well,
it happens.
I'm not playing Pat Mahomes as a captain at 23% owned when Mahomes hasn't crossed 20 fantasy points all year.
No interest.
If that burns us, I get it.
I'll eat that.
They're going to shit on me in the comments. DFS up north.
That's fine. That's fine.
They are. They're going to do it. Should we just accept that?
I don't know. I just giggled when I got a notification that somebody commented on YouTube and told you to retire earlier this week.
Yeah. They tell me to retire. You know, I'm like, wait. Oh, look at that. Look at this view. You on here. This is kind of fun. I like this. Yeah. I'm just messing with our views. I'm like, I kind of like this one. But yeah, I should retire.
You should retire.
Now on the first look, I'm going to just put in a chalkier quarterback. Like when you take any kind of a chance on the first look early in the week.
Everybody poops on it.
Yeah, they're waiting. So now I'm going to go back to it's going to be Josh Allen every time for that guy. Okay, so Mahomes showing at 22%.
Craziness.
Kelsey 15. Okay.
Yeah.
But really, there's no. I think this is just no one knows who to play. After Kelsey, you got Kareem Hunt. Fine. Baker Mayfield 10.
I mean, I think Mayfield is outstanding at that. Like his price is like. I mean, the guy he's averaging like almost 30 points a game.
He has been getting it done even without those
with trash to throw to.
Cannot disagree. Cannot disagree at all.
Yeah.
That's what's been going on. So yeah, I could see that one.
I mean, I like you know how I feel about you get Mahomes Butker or who am I talking about? Baker Mayfield with the Chiefs D in there. He throws a couple of picks every game. Maybe they get one back. That's how you win the millie.
Yeah. I don't think the way to win the money today is by playing chalk Mahomes at 23% owned. Sorry, I'm going to make that bigger. But
like Mahomes doesn't have anyone to really throw to, and he doesn't run the ball.
Doesn't run a lot, but you know what the Chiefs like to do? They do like to run it lately and play really good defense. So
their defense has been great.
Yeah, the defense has been really good. I think Mahomes is definitely due for an explosion game.
Sure.
But again, we just went through his wide receiver group. And there aren't that many of them. And so if he's having that kind of a game, you know, DeAndre Hopkins or Travis Kelce or Noah Gray, somebody is having an even greater game, probably.
Yes.
So
right. That's the assumption here.
And I think it is important to note that Chiefs defense has been the best defense versus the run all season. Good. Like they are elite against the run. So I don't expect anything out of Irving necessarily and White. Like as running backs, I think a lot of what you're going to get from those guys is going to be as a pass catcher.
Yep.
I keep messing with our views. Sorry, I'm trying to find the best one for the 2-man. I wasn't prepared for it. There we go. I'm going back to it. So let's jump over to the cheat sheet here and take a look at who you were recommending as potential captains.
Let's see it.
And we'll start at the very top. Weather being shitty. There's a new thing. Is the weather bad here?
Is it? Let me see.
It's in Kansas City.
It's in KC, right?
Yes.
It's shitty south of them. Yeah, it's gonna rain a little bit, but that's all that stuff's gonna blow through by game time.
Yeah, I'm like I said, we did see some effective weather. I feel like in the Bills game this past week, I did see
I thought
some
maybe a little bit
balls.
a little bit in the Lions game too.
Yeah, guys, I am against making a rule. This is like the 4th time this was asked, so I'm going to say it again. No. I think you can play White and Irving together. You can. Yes. Rain. So we're seeing heavy rain and wind. Wind isn't too bad, but rain can be heavy early.
National Weather Service says, with a picture of an umpire it says showers and storms exiting east, south wind turning northeast, temps falling into the upper 50s.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to ignore that.
It's just general rain.
Yeah.
I think it's not raining in case. No, I'm not worried about it. It's going to move through.
Yeah. Double QB wins plenty, Andy. That is not something I do look to avoid.
Yeah, with the value this week, I think double QB makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it wins all the time.
Yep.
Can you leave 10 to 11K on the board? Yeah, probably.
FanDuel for sure.
If you're comfortable messing with Turdley,
exposure and points.
Turdley wide receivers, basically.
Yep.
I don't care.
Works, yeah, especially on FanDuel, because you got guys like Noah Gray and Raheem Jarrett are super cheap.
I understand why somebody might play Mahomes as captain. He is a spread the football around guy. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
But he just hasn't. I think when he's doing that, Travis Kelce will probably eke him out with the 23 and Mahomes gets the 20. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to see Mahomes. He would have to throw touchdowns to 3 different players.
And have Kelce like not smash.
Yeah. If you're even throwing 2 touchdowns to one guy, or somebody gets 100 yards and a touchdown on 7 or 8 receptions.
Or Baker doesn't have a big game either.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have to go to different people, which could happen with Mahomes, but also...
I mean, he could throw a touchdown pass to Carson Steele and you know what I mean? Like some rando.
Your favorites are Kareem Hunt.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield, Travis Kelce, and K. Dotton.
Yeah, I think those are the 3 probably best.
It's really 4, right? Like the 4 pack.
I'm not good at math.
Yeah, Hunt has not. Hunt. Well, Vita Vea is playing.
That's the downside, right?
Yeah, the cream, as I like to call Hunt. Vita Vea is playing. It's not the best.
They're just the thing is like the reason why I have Hunt there is the low total here, right? And then he's getting it 20 times a game. Like they just want to slow this down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want to run the ball. Like I can see this, obviously Vita Vea is in the middle and they're tough to run against, but yeah, I could see this being a super slow game where maybe, Hunt has a touchdown and 80 yards and gets there somehow.
I mean, one thing we know about Kareem though, the cream is he's getting all the work. So
he's the guy.
I'm really confident about him getting some volume, and he'll usually have a good game. So I like the call. I think it's good. Kelce makes sense. K. Dotton coming off like one of the biggest tight end days we've ever seen.
Insane volume, and not even just last week. He's like we're going on a couple weeks now where K. Dotton's volume has been real big.
10 targets each of the past 2 weeks since the guys got hurt. The volume has gone to Kareem Hunt. What is that? Thank you, Savage, for the super chat right there. And what I will do is after this, because the people who are watching this in public, they don't care about Domination Station setups. I will do a Dom Station setup for DFS Army subscribers that we'll do privately. I'll post a link to that because I got to make my lineups anyway. So I'll post a link to that in my channel in the Discord so you guys can jump in and we can do a live setup of the Dom Station back and forth. I don't want to do it now. This is on the public YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, guys, by the way. Gesicki chalk crushing yesterday was
Gesicki
just,
in the
that's
slot.
What got me
in the slot killed me yesterday too. Yeah. They just played him in the slot and threw him the ball, and that.
Yeah, the $10 have to go to no, and by the way, Savage, you don't have to do the Super Bowl. He's already a subscriber, but no, I don't do that personally. I don't do there's not like the super booster. The multiplier strategy is not something I do for showdowns. For me, I attack showdowns very specifically to try to win the tournament and nothing else. I'm not playing cash games or multiplier games. That's for the for the big slate when we can apply our knowledge, hopefully, to kind of beat the competition.
The one sort of like strategy, and I've been just messing around with this, is those like single stats for the showdown. You can get like the 100-mans and things like that.
Yeah.
And just play the chalk, and you're gonna likely just kind of churn that, that cash. You get one guy off in like a 3-man, or you know what I mean? Instead of the top 3 prop guys, you pull that other guy, because everybody just plays the same lineup, right? So you just make one little twist, and all of a sudden you're at the top of those boosters and those.
It's a little too easy. Yeah, but it's tricky. There's a little strategy back there.
Yep.
That you really have to pay attention to. Chiefs defense, you think is viable?
I mean, Mayfield turns the ball over all the time, right? I think that the defense is tough. They're only applied for 18 points. Like they score a touchdown, they hold them to 14. You're talking 15-ish points. They don't score a ton. Like just the way it works, maybe. Ooh, that's quite the weekend.
Love Savage, by the way, my man, crushing it. Love it. Hell yeah. And kicking ass, making money. Great stuff.
Ooh, Bucky's props are way too low. Yeah, I like what Zach said.
No, but Bucky, understand that the coach has said Bucky's got some sort of an injury. We don't know if he's going to be on a snap count or what the hell's going on. So, it's just a careful situation with Bucky. I think Bucky was on his way to taking over.
I do too.
Yeah, I would do over on this receptions prop. It's time to accept that Kelsey's going to be getting a lot of targets. Yep. But, trust in the prop. By the way, you guys are asking, trust in the Proptimizer. You said receptions. Just, do it this way, right? Just check the Proptimizer, type the name, or get me some Kelsey. We'll find him, right? And there it is. Kelsey, over 5.5. We have him projected for 5.9. So there you go. It's not really a bet, actually. It's unbettable. this does not show a bet at all. But, yeah, he's been hitting the over more often than not. So yeah, I'd stick to the over, but there's no value in that. All right. So where were we? Yeah. Chiefs potential. And that's it. Is there anybody else who didn't make the captain that you think now, did you have no Bucky in there? You just have Rashad White.
I just had White just because I think the toe injury is a little bit concerning, but Jalen McMillan, obviously I wrote this on Friday, and then he popped up on the injury report on Saturday, which was awesome during practice, but I think he's viable. I mean, you could go with a third wide receiver, right? I think you could go with Xavier Worthy. But I think
Xavier Worthy is what's missing here.
I think to be honest, if I want to play a Chiefs wide receiver, I kind of think it's D-Hop.
Or D-Hop. Yeah.
I think that's the guy, right? I think he's going to pop at some point here.
Old guy, give him some veteran respect. But yeah, I think also Xavier Worthy on the field as much as he has got some targets last week. It only takes Xavier Worthy is a big play guy. He is, one reception, a touchdown. If we remember back to week 1, it was 3 receptions, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
And that is the kind of game that would show up as the captain winner.
Yep.
Brandon Tanguy says Hunt, Kelsey, Baker, and Cade, and keep it. I don't know about Sean Tucker. I guess, yeah. I mean a third running back from that team.
Yeah, he's okay, I guess.
The turd zone's just going to be crazy. Like you said, all right, so let's just get into some of this.
Let's get into it.
Oh, there he is. Holy shit. Hell yeah, Rad.
Whoa.
Over 250K in the last 3 years. Are you kidding me, guys? Everybody's like, those are your paid people.
They just come in
putting out fake statements. Rad, they don't think you're real. They think you're making it up. Guys, join DFS Army. Promo code Geek, 10% off. VIP. You know how we do. We've hit one of the highest subscriber numbers we've ever been to.
On DFS Army or on YouTube?
No, definitely YouTube. But no, DFS Army. Yeah, we hit a nice number.
Good. People are figuring it out.
I think it's just when you have a lot of members out there just winning. They're telling their friends and people watching these shows, and you have the people. So I appreciate everybody. And when you guys are subscribers, we appreciate your tweeting at us and letting us know so we can kind of spread the word. This is how we have to expand and keep our people here. And build more tools and continue to have the ability to kind of make this group really awesome. So I appreciate everybody, and also for letting us know when you're out there kicking ass and using the tools to crush it. All right. So yeah, I mean, in the turd zone here, I don't think I want to play Samaji at all.
No.
Trey Palmer, Noah Gray at 2,800.
I do like Noah Gray a lot. Somebody asked if you can play Noah Gray and Kelsey together, and the answer I think is yes.
Yeah. You could play them together. Absolutely. There it is. I like to hear that too. Yeah. I feel like if you guys, by the way, and again, I'm sorry for getting off point here, but if you're in the Players Club with me on Saturdays, hopefully I've spent a lot of time this year really talking about contest selection and how to be a profitable player. So I know it's helping because people are sending me screenshots and like, dude, I didn't realize that this is how you win money in DFS. And it is really, it's been amazing to get the DMs from people when it works. All right. So anyway, Raheem Jarrett, Rocket Raheem, you like that for 2K?
Yeah, super cheap. He's going to be in there. Like, I like him a lot.
You almost have to expect that like Shepard or McMillan will either not play or get
one
hurt
of them's probably not going to play, right?
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, like one of them could get one of them is going to get hurt or not be playing tonight. And that just is what's going to open it up for all these secondary guys. But this is really what makes this slate difficult. Like, how much Ryan Miller do we have to play? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This doesn't show ownership on the sheet. So actually, I'm going to go to the Dom station. Yes. I want to see what the ownership is in the flex for some of these Turdley guys. So let's look down here. So Montreal, Washington, no, right? Is that no? Coquelift, no. Although he has had a reception once. Raheem Jarrett.
Looked at him for a long time.
Like, I would rather play Raheem Jarrett than probably Carson Steele. Carson Steele
does nothing now.
Carson Steele only gets in the game after Kareem Hunt gets hurt.
Yes.
So if you're going to play Carson Steele, let's just go through it. If you're going to play Carson Steele, that should be without Kareem Hunt. He's only getting in the game. That is a Kareem Hunt gets hurt.
Yep.
Kind of situation.
That's the only way he gets in.
Yes. Kareem Hunt gets hurt. Steele comes in. So you're going to make a rule, only one or the other, or just don't play Steele.
Just don't play him.
Yeah. Ryan Miller getting 6%. I would want to be over on that.
I think so, right?
Yeah. Ryan Miller, Ryan Miller's name is Ryan Miller's the guy today. Like Scotty's little brother. No one knows who he is. Everybody thinks it's Scotty out there still. That has to work today. Let's see.
Hold on. Lots of people are asking about the weather. I'm watching the radar right now, and it looks like it's clearing out by 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
Don't worry about the weather. This is not... Let me put it like this. There's nothing we can do to affect it. And unless the weather is going to be incredibly brutal, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So that's the thing. All right, so getting back into, I like this little exercise here where, I'm looking at some of these names and trying to, like Justin Watson, 15%. I want to be under on him.
Way too much.
Yeah, and Trey Palmer seems over-owned here, considering he seems like,
4,000 too, right? Like, I mean, considering what you can get, like you can get a Raheem Jarrett at 2% or at 2,000, right?
Yeah. Payne Durham, no, not worth playing.
I don't think so.
And again, like, all right, so it's Jalen McMillan, who looks like a great play, but that Q tag's got me concerned. And then I want to be massively over probably. Kadon's expensive.
That's your captain salary, right? Or no, that's just regular salary. That's flex. He is expensive. I think he's worth it.
He's priced like a starting WR1 at this point.
Which the last couple of weeks, yes.
It's a pretty sketchy slate. And then you got DeAndre Hopkins at 7K, 32%.
And you're just waiting on what happens on pregame warmups.
Based on all of that value, especially like some Ryan Miller 1K action and especially that one really actually stands out the most to me.
Yep.
Was there a second wide receiver that was a turd? Who's the other guy? Raheem Jarrett.
Raheem Jarrett. I think if they could potentially activate like a Marquez Callaway here. Remember him from the Saints?
Oh my goodness. Actually, he's been a Showdown turd as well.
He has. I think he was on the little roller.
All right. Let's see what a lineup looks like. Who is the best captain of them all? Which one, if you had to choose one?
I mean, gun to my head, let's just say
K-Dot.
Or yeah, let's just, and then we can build at that price, you can build a pretty nice lineup.
K-Dot.
You can build a similar lineup with Kelsey, right?
We're going to put him in there with Mayfield.
Yep.
I think Kareem Hunt is a great play, and Mahomes, fine. Mahomes less needed, let's call it. Travis Kelce, fine.
Oh, they did activate Marquez Callaway. Okay.
He's activated? Oh.
He's elevated.
Gross. You put in $1,000 guy, Ryan Miller.
Sure. Yep. Now what do you got left?
8,200. So you can get another stud in here, or one of White or Irving or Hopkins.
That's what I mean. Like, how good does that look, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at this. So it's really easy. I don't think salary is going to have too much effect on anything.
No,
because I mean, your last spot, I can make it whoever I want.
You can play Diop, you can play Worthy, you can play.
I can play Worthy, but that's almost like too cheesy, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go and play Rashad White here. Fine.
Sure.
DeAndre Hopkins works in that spot.
Yep.
I do think Worthy is should be captainable.
Yeah, you can put him in there. I just think he hasn't done much. Like, doesn't do anything. Outside of week 1, he doesn't do anything.
You can see here, guys, the only real thing we got to wait for. So the big takeaways for me is we got to wait to find out about McMillan, who was the most used wide receiver last week, but now he's got this hammy injury. Don't love hammy injuries. These guys like get re-injured. So, sketchy, but we got to find out about him. But beyond that, salary really doesn't take too much. I mean, I've just played all the studs in the game.
I mean, even if, like, I'm just looking at mine, like, if you put like Baker Mayfield at captain, right?
Yeah, I could make that same lineup this way.
Make same lineup, right? Like,
yeah.
Or you can even get up from, I think you can get up from Miller to Jarrett, maybe even.
I don't know if that's getting up. I mean, at this point, no, but yeah, like, sure. So, and that's with effectively the most expensive captain option at the captain spot. So basically the answer is
play
salaries. Once you start including the wide receiver turds from Tampa, the salaries don't matter. I'm going to say that DFSupNORTH and myself, I don't have a way to differentiate between, Scotty Miller, Jarrett versus these two guys, Shepard and McMillan, who have these Q tags. We don't really know how much or if they're going to play. Nor do I have a way to differentiate between Rashad White and Bucky Irving.
No.
The props like Bucky Irving a little bit more, weirdly, for running back yardage, and they like Rashad White a smidge more for receptions and receiving yardage. Yeah, he again, Rashad White 3.52 or under 4.5 receptions.
Sure.
Irving 2.5 receptions, and we're predicting him for 2. So do you see the difference there?
Yep.
Rashad White more receptions, but if I go to rushing yards, like just rushing yards or rushing, and I'll go to just rushing yards. Irving rushing yards 31, White 29. Actually, but the difference is our internal projection likes Irving to go for 46 and White to only go for 24, meaning the props are about the same, but our model likes Irving for more rushing yards and White for less. So, take that for what it's worth. Let's do a quick look at
the duel.
The golden duel, FanDuel. They took away the free money contest, and now we have to play with all the constraints of having a VIG and no free money. That sucks. I was making so much money. Now I feel like it's all over. Disaster. All right, so looking at your cheat sheet for FanDuel.
Yep. You might have to refresh the page, but...
No, we're here. Wait, what is this?
That's another site.
Oh, Sunday? Wait, I'm on Sunday. Oh, that's why. Monday.
That's DK.
FanDuel.
I can tell you that there's really only 3 that I'm interested in. Just hit refresh; it should show up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyways, it's Mahomes, Hunter, Mayfield. I don't really see anybody else.
So the only 3. Hang on. Scroll over.
Keep going.
So this is all the sheets that we have. Like, imagine how much content is being covered here.
Right there.
Yeah, here we go. So you've just got Mahomes, Baker, and Kareem Hunt.
I don't think you need to go anywhere else.
Man, that's the problem with FanDuel, isn't it?
I know that's the issue tonight is like, and it's hard to get, like, the only way that you solo take something down is if you leave, like somebody asked earlier, like 10,000 on the table.
You almost have to not play one of these 3. Look at the ownerships. Mahomes is 40% on. Actually, that's the play, is just like fading Mahomes again and just doing anything other than that.
And then having him in your lineup.
Yeah. Mayfield.
So I would go Mayfield with like some duds, right? Maybe you fade Mayfield and Otten together and you go, Raheem Jarrett. And I'm just scrolling through here.
Now, keeping in mind, one of the reasons why Mahomes is popping so much projections and in all of these spots is because it is a spectacular matchup, meaning, teams that have faced Tampa have thrown for tons of yardage and touchdowns.
Correct.
Tampa games have been high scoring this year. So that is something to keep in mind. Like, it's very similar to, like Winston or Bo Nix the last couple of weeks going up against Baltimore, where teams going up against Baltimore just have thrown for a ton of yards. Teams going up against Tampa are throwing, not Tampa, against Tampa are throwing for a ton of yards. And I think that's why Mahomes is so popular as a captain, aside from who else are you going to play. But I mean, Kareem Hunt can easily outscore Mahomes.
Yes.
Let's see the pricing here. Kelsey at, is there anybody else who, the problem with White and Irving is there's just 2 of them. Bucks defense, I would not be messing with Bucks defense at all.
Doesn't turn the ball either.
I think he's thinking about Chiefs defense because Bucks defense, Chiefs don't turn the ball over. You never want to play defense against the Chiefs. It's Pat Mahomes. He's not a guy.
I mean, he's got some picks this year, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm not betting on Mahomes.
I'm not betting on Mahomes
turning over
at
the football.
Home,
no,
turning the ball over a ton.
Like, is there anything more simple in terms of a defense than choose defense playing against bad quarterback? Literally, Bobbywow begged us to play the Chargers this weekend on every show.
Begged us.
I did play the Chargers. I did listen to Bobbywow, as I always do.
How many did they end up with?
20.
I played the Cardinals. I think they had 12.
Cardinals did well also. I played some of that.
Caleb Williams is not good.
Caleb Williams, I think Josiah was right. Yeah, I think Caleb Williams stinks.
I think so too.
What if Caleb Williams is the dud and all the other quarterbacks that came out this year are better? All of them.
I don't think that's crazy to think at this point.
I mean, I think everybody would in a second trade. If I have Caleb, I'm trading him for Jaden Daniels in like Dynasty, right? And giving.
I mean, at this point, JJ McCarthy's having a better season than Caleb Williams, and he's not playing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild out there. Kelsey. So anyway,
I mean, Williams could be good. The coaches suck. I would agree with that.
Tough to say because again, Chicago is not exactly known for bringing quarterbacks along and teaching them well. It's like the Jets.
That's true.
Sub 8K here on FanDuel. Is there anything even worth messing with? Noah Gray, maybe?
Noah Gray, Raheem Jarrett. Yeah. Trey Palmer's only 7,500 over here.
Yeah, these are very thin plays, but if you're going to play like Mahomes captain, the one thing I'll say about FanDuel is this. If you're going to play Mahomes captain, you better have like 2 super low owned surprises in that lineup, or you're just gonna tie with a million different people. Just understand what the math is of a 40% owned captain in a contest with 50,000 entries. That means virtually every iteration of a Mahomes captain lineup will be done, especially anything obvious will be done like 20 times. Yeah. There's no money to be made. Yeah, FanDuel sucks for showdowns, man. I don't, sorry guys.
It's
but
like
it's
Mahomes,
just not a good format for it.
I'm trying to think, who could he throw the ball to? Montreal, Washington.
Montreal, no, stop. Like that is, but that's what you might need. You might need to get
That's
like
what I'm saying, right? Like you need something.
No,
stupid.
you need 2% owned Raheem Jarrett or like Sean Tucker to go off, like one of these very, very low owned players to go nuts. That's how you get there.
Third string tight end Peyton Hendershot.
Yeah. So Andy says Mahomes captain. Let's make a lineup on the screen.
All right.
Mahomes, Hunt, Kelsey, Otten, Gray. All right. So Hunt, Kelsey, Otten, Gray. In order for this to be working, Mahomes has to have thrown touchdowns to Kelsey and Noah Gray, and then another player, and then Kareem Hunt has to catch a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a tough lineup.
It's a tough one.
Can you? Do you have enough to go to? Do you have enough to go to Mayfield instead of Kareem Hunt?
No. But if Mahomes is up here, I think Kelsey should be in the lineup because whenever Mahomes has ever smashed in his career,
it's with Kelsey.
Yeah, if there's like one absolute here, it's probably that.
Yeah.
If Mahomes is your captain, you should just tie him directly in with Kelsey.
I would agree. Yeah, you can make that rule. I don't hate that at all.
Like Kelsey and one more, it has to be two.
For Mahomes at the MVP, yeah.
Players.
But so not forget, Mahomes has not broken 20 points this year.
I feel like where's Bobby Wow?
To tell us that Mahomes is a great player.
No, to tell us which one of Raheem Jarrett or those guys.
Yeah, that's true.
I won 68K with Kelsey as captain. No Mahomes.
I remember that we talked about that the other week, right?
I was doing it reverse. What I'm saying is,
if Mahomes
is your captain, I don't think there has been a situation in the last 3 seasons where Mahomes put up like 25 or 30 plus fantasy points, where Kelsey didn't come close to that. I'm talking about in the post Tyreek Hill era. That just hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it hasn't happened in the post Tyreek era that Mahomes had a smash game and and Kelsey wasn't involved in it. He's always involved. DFS Up North.
He is.
It's always there.
They're besties. They're besties.
Let's wrap it up here, guys. Showdown breakdown. For those of you guys, DFS Army, if you want me to do it, since Savage asked, I will jump into my channel in 10 minutes or so in the DFS Army Discord, and I'll set up a little live stream to show you how to set up the optimizer for this one. Pretty basic, straightforward slate. I don't know if I was even planning to MME it, but now I will.
Now you're in.
Now I have to. I was going to just make a few lineups. Now I'm going to MME it. This is a weird one. We're going to have to scroll through the turds, and we're going to have to be prepared for the 30 minutes before lock, finding out about those two players. Changes. Yeah, the inactives could change a whole lot. So with that being said, if you guys aren't part of DFS Army, we'd love to have you on board. Promo code Geek, 10% off VIP or NFL or NBA or NHL. We have a lot of we got sports going nonstop. We cover in DFS Army every single sport in existence. There's Stacy, Baker, Otten, Jarrett, Hunt, Jarrett. Yeah. So we got to see if Jarrett starts.
I like that.
Yeah. Where is the Discord? You want to join?
DFSarmy.com.
Yeah. Do we not show the website? Hang on. This is the DFSarmy.com website. When you join, you get a link to our Discord. There's also a little Discord button up here, but there's a Discord button right there. See that? Discord on the DFS Army website, but you have to be subscribed to DFS Army to join the Discord. The Discord is free and part of every or most of the subscriptions outside of the light one. So you click on Discord right there and you link up your account to the Discord. That gives you the premium channels. And Discord is where, Discord is the heart and soul of DFS Army. I'm still shocked that people sign up for DFS Army and they don't understand that we have a Discord where most of what we're doing is taking place. So make sure you're in the Discord. That's where we're talking strategy. That's where all our VIP and member only podcast breakdowns and live streams are posted. So you must be in the Discord. Click on that little button right up there. Dad Games talks more on the Discord. Where is it? than he does with his own mother. And that's how it is for most people. People spend more time in the Discord than they do with their families. Let's face it. It's a nicer place, the Discord. Everybody's very friendly in there at the very least, and we gamble a lot, and we commiserate together when it's bad. So there is all of that.
Yeah, that's true. I get mad when the Vikings lose.
Yeah, DFSupNORTH just tilts about Vikings things. So make sure to check that out. I will do a live stream for the Domination Station setup. Good luck tonight on this breakdown, everybody. If you enjoyed these videos, I always ask you to hit that like button, subscribe, and notifications, and all that good stuff. DFS Army YouTube channel growing. We're growing.
Oh, my 7-year-old says just play 6 Chiefs. That's what he said today on the way home.
6 of them.
So it doesn't work like that. He said it doesn't matter. You just play 6. They're gonna win.
There are memes in the Discord.
Too many sometimes.
Yeah. So there we go.
NSFW sometimes.
Yes. Occasionally is an NSFW for sure. So let's crush another showdown, guys. Of course, we'll be back on Wednesday with the Thursday game or Thursday afternoon. I don't know. We'll see. For the showdown breakdown. Who's
the Thursday game this week?
I don't know. I know the Jets are in prime time, but it's Sunday night again. So
nope, the Jets got flexed this week, Kev. They got him out. They said we're sick of watching Aaron Rodgers. The Jets got
flexed him out. That's messed up. It is a good game. I was looking at the 2-game slate,
they flexed the Bengals in on Sunday.
Who the hell is the 2-gamer? It's a lot of good running backs in the Thursday night game. The Bengals are on Bengals Ravens on Thursday. Okay, yeah. It was good running backs. It was Chase Brown season.
Lions Texans Sunday night. Oh, okay.
Chase
Brown. Yeah, Zach Moss is out.
Yeah, Cincinnati Baltimore. That's a great game.
That's a good game. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So we'll be back for that breakdown, and we wish everybody the best of luck tonight. We'll see you on Thursday, and don't forget to check out my first look videos, FanDuel and DraftKings. All of those will be live on the DFS Army YouTube channel tomorrow, and I'm going to put chalky quarterbacks in there because I don't want to hear the hate from people if I take a shot with Daniel Jones and it doesn't go crazy on Tuesday. Weird. All right. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you next time.